horrible week. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Hello, everyone. Um, Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible what's going on, folks. I normally don't do these things, but just doing this for such a long time, doing this over 10 years, politics, commentary. I used to go to a lot of protests and stuff like that, cover a lot of protest stuff. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2015. Almost got stabbed in 2015. If it wasn't for my wife that alerted me, pretty crazy times. Got stuff thrown at me. What happened to Charlie Kirk today was just absolutely horrifying. Horrifying in the fact that all he did was just speak his mind and try to encourage and teach the younger generation, the generation that gets bombarded with propaganda. College students get bombarded with propaganda in colleges and universities on a daily basis, and it doesn't really start. College. They start them young. They start them in high school. So what he was trying to do is he was trying to give them another perspective give these young kids another perspective than the one that they're being fed in the school system and then in the university system. It was just absolutely horrific. And I put it on the website, and I broke it on the website as soon as it happened, because we were doing a press conference with Attorney General Pam Bondi and RFK Jr. So we were doing a press conference, and we were streaming it live, and we were there live, and all of a sudden, we get a notification right when it had happened. So we put it up on the website. And when we put it up on the website, my wife got the notification, obviously, that we have uploaded a new thing, and she saw it, and she totally broke down. And she says, I'm actually happy that you don't go out there and speak anymore, or you don't go out there and what's it called, are in danger like this, because, she's so afraid that, before, when I used to do it from 2015 to like around 2020-ish, she was always scared that I might get hurt, something might get thrown at me, I might get stabbed. So she was always she was terrified for me going out there and doing these things. I was never really active in the commentary scene, like Charlie Kirk will go out there, do speeches and stuff like that. Yes, hi.
Hi. Well, I fix her bed now that she's not here.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So I wouldn't really do many of those speeches or anything like that. I was mostly always, behind the camera. I will always do, the political side of it, and more like C-SPAN type of deal. Never really in front of a camera or speaking. And what's it called? So by seeing what happened to him today, really goes to show what type of scenario we're in right now. We are in very, very tough times. We're in extremely tough times when it comes to the political side of it, and also what you can and cannot say. Because what we had to worry about, like in 2020, 2016, was getting banned, right? If I have to say something and I couldn't say it, I could get banned from YouTube or from Facebook or wherever. That's what we had to worry about back in those days. If you were actually on the scene, another thing that you had to worry about was, let's say that someone wanted to fight you, or someone was going to throw some type of substance on you. Like when in 2016, and I think we were in West Covina, and there was a protest going on. We were covering it, and all of a sudden they started throwing stuff at us, liquids. Later on, we came to find out that it was pee mixed with bleach. So what they would do is they would pee in a bottle, put bleach in it, and then throw it at you. hoping that it hit you in the face or it doused your, like, let's say it got your shirt all wet, and then you'll be able to smell it, and then it'll be mustard gas or whatever it makes, ammonia and bleach. And so that was their hope, right? That they would throw it at you, you'll get your shirt all wet or your sweater, whatever you were wearing, and then you would inhale that, and then you end up in the ER. So that was their, that's what they, the danger of them, of back then. But this time is not like that, folks. This time is now, they have become so extremely radicalized that now these people have to watch out for bullets. It's the craziest thing what's happening out there. Let me see some of the comments I want to see. So just saying, scary. Yeah, I know. I feel so sorry. My condolences go out to his family. He has kids, his wife. Like my wife, she was extremely saddened. Because she met him along with me. We met him the first time at Politicon. He was doing, I think, a debate with Hassan, I believe, at that time. And this was back in 2016, I believe, 2017. So he was doing a political debate with somebody from the Young Turks. And we were talking to him while he was getting ready. I'm like, "Are you ready, Charlie?" And he's all like, "Yeah, ready as I'll ever be." Like, we got a little bit to talking, and that was pretty much it that time. Other times we saw him at the RNC. We saw him, at other events, other RNC events. We were never like friends or anything like that. You were just acquaintances and colleagues in a way. Basically because we both worked for the same cause, and we try to make sure that we reach the amount of people we were supposed to reach. My wife is doing well. Today, like I said, she got really scared. She got very terrified, and she was just happy that I don't go out. I go out there, and I don't go out there as much and do speeches or anything like that. She's happy about that because of the climate that we're in right now. But I have started some security protocols for cameramen and for the camera guys that go out there. Make sure that they're okay. Make sure that they're safe. There's really not much you can do other than try to keep them safe, try to give them protocol in case something happens. Don't stay there and try to catch footage that you're, be safe. That's why I always tell them, for them to be safe and not to do something crazy. MSNBC has some rude comments about Charlie. Did you hear about that? Yeah, I did. I saw it. That he had it coming, that this is and that, and it wasn't the time or the place for any of that crap. Out of respect out of his family, out of respect of him, he's not here to defend himself anymore, so you shouldn't be speaking ill of him in any way, shape, or form. You respect the dead because they're not here to defend themselves any longer. So it was despicable what they said about him. But how did the guy get into the school? They're thinking about, they thought it was on the roof. Exactly like Butler, Pennsylvania, on the roof. But the difference between Butler, Pennsylvania and this situation is that this guy knew what he was doing way more than the other one. This guy was a professional. That was a professional hit. I'm not a big expert in firearms or anything like that, but you can totally tell. Because when I first saw the footage, I knew instantly, no, I'm sorry, but he's gone. There's absolutely no way you're going to survive something like that. Thank you. Oh, great. Thank you so much. There's no way that you're going to be able to survive something like that. There's no way. The wound, the way that it looks, because he was like standing, let's say for instance, he was like kind of like this. He was kind of like arched forward, and he was speaking, right? And he had the mic. Pretend that this is a microphone, pretend that this is a microphone, and the microphone was kind of like placed right in front of him like this. Sorry, I'm not used to doing camera work like this. So it's like that. And he was kind of like arched forward, and he was grabbing the microphone, bringing it up to him, saying, oh, yeah, blah, 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 and then putting the microphone back down, right? In one of those, he kind of went backwards and lifted his chin and left all of this completely open, out in the open like this. Let's say like someone like me, I don't know if I have a large neck, but my neck is not too long, right? His neck is a little bit longer than mine. So it would be like kind of like this, right? My neck is more like, I have like a double chin and stuff like that. So my neck is a little bit less exposed per se. So if it would have happened to me, it would have probably hit me in the jaw, maybe in the chest, right? Because my chest is higher than his. His neck is longer and more slimmer compared to mine. So he left his neck completely exposed and it went straight in here. I think it hit either here or here. Let me see. The way that he was sitting, he arched forward and it hit, I think it hit him here. So the person that did it, that was an expert. That was no just some random person that wanted this guy gone. No, that was definitely an expert. How did he get past the roof in a very tall school? Must have went inside and stairway and sort of unless he's Spider-Man. Hey, you never know. You never know because there's access points. Let's say if there was, for instance, power walls, he could have scaled those. If there was air conditioning systems, he could have scaled those. Access points of any kind. Let's say engraved, like let's say like for instance like this, how it kind of like dips inward. So there might be like out there somewhere, there might be somewhere you can scale up. And let's say if that point right there is not connected to that point right there, then you could scale that and get to the top of the building. So there's ways to getting in top of buildings. Most buildings nowadays are not like slick, four walls. They have let's say power walls, electrical components, or AC components that you can actually scale and get up on top of the roof. So it's a lot easier now. Back in the day, let's say when we weren't as technologically advanced when it comes to stuff like this, stairs and what are they called, the retractable ladders, all that stuff in order to get to the roof. But now you can get up a little bit higher. It says talking to those networks are going to talk is that those networks are going away by the FCC. Well, the thing about that is that the president's been trying, Trump's been trying to take away the licensing from those networks. But the only thing that taking away licensing from those networks will do, per se, is that they won't be allowed to be in the open network. They will do nothing from trying to take them away from cable networks. So, back in the day, you used to get an antenna, get a couple of channels for free, and don't have to pay anything to cable, right? Well, that still exists, but now they do it with a with like a box. It still looks like an antenna, but it's like more modern now. So they'll kick them off of the air like that, but it won't really do anything getting them off the air from cable. They can't really do much about that. The only way to get someone off of cable is like what they did to OAN, right? Where they didn't renew the company, let's say like Spectrum or Cox or anything like any of those. If they don't renew their contracts, then they'll get them off the air. Kind of like exactly what they did with OAN and Newsmax. They were trying to do that to Newsmax too. So that's the only way to get them off the air when it comes to cable. Taking away their licenses is not going to do much. It's unfortunate. The architecture from 300 years ago blows away the architecture from now. No, yeah, that's true. I mean, the way that it looks, I guess. Hi.
For Lizette?
Yes, you can just, right, that'll be fine.
On the bed?
Yeah, you can do it on the bed. That'd be great. Thank you so much. My wife is in the hospital. Yes, my wife is in the hospital. She's been in the hospital now. Well, she was in the hospital for 8 days, and then she got released unsafely, and then she ended up getting hospitalized again since last Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What day is it today? Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Oh, today's Wednesday. So she's been hospitalized for 4 days, 4 or 5 days. She has end-stage kidney failure, and she also has liver disease and an infection. There's an infection in the abdomen too going on. So she has quite a few things going on, and but the pain wise, she's getting better, which I'm very happy about. They're managing her pain successfully here. They're doing a lot of testing. Like right now, she went to go get an MRI just to see what's going on with the abdomen. She's also on a big regimen of different types of antibiotics. She's doing dialysis here too. So thank you so much. But yeah, so she's been in the hospital in and out for the last couple months. So she's been admitted a couple times now. And I'm here for her. I'm here all day. I do most of my job because I don't go out in the field anymore and do camera work. I have somebody to do that. So I mostly are here. This is my command center for right now. See? Oh, how do I take that out? So nobody will think I'm lying. Oh, can't even do it anymore. Never mind. But yeah, so this is kind of like my command center right now. So I work here. I update the websites here and stuff like that. And then I have somebody out there, doing all the camera work, and that sends me the feeds and stuff like that. I put them up on YouTube. I've been trying really hard to manage both because I'm also my wife's full-time caregiver. While she's in the hospital and at home too, since she got sick. So I spend pretty much all day here, especially now that we got transferred to a specific hospital that is an hour and a half away from our home. So I'm here pretty much all day now. So I have someone that goes and a pet sitter that goes to my home and feeds my dogs, make sure that everybody's okay, does all the make sure that the house is okay and stuff like that, because I can't travel an hour and a half there, an hour and a half here. In case something happens, I don't want to be an hour and a half away. At the other hospital that we were at before, I was only like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes away from my home. But now, since they transferred us to this hospital, we're an hour and a half, and I do not want to be that far from my wife in case something happens. You never know. The whole Charlie Kirk thing goes to show that you never know what's going to happen next. You don't have the next minute promised. You don't have the next hour promised. You don't have the next day promised. It really shows our how mortal we are, And I do not want to be an hour and a half away and then find out that something happened with my wife. She got a complication, whatever, or some type of what's it called? Some type of news came in that the doctor was here and she didn't understand, and what's it called? And the doctor, told her something and she got confused or something like that, or because right now she has also a lot of foggy brain. So I'm here. I sign all paperwork. I tell the doctors all the information they need to know, because I manage all of my wife's medicine, procedures, follow-ups. I manage all of my wife's information when it comes to her medical stuff, insurance, everything. I manage everything for her. So because she has enough to worry about than having to worry about all those things too. So I take care of all of that. I take care of all of that for her. Her main job, like I always tell her, your job is to get better. Your job is to feel better, and your job is to make sure that you trust in God and you keep pushing. And I want you to be better. My job is to manage everything and to talk to everybody and to give everybody the information that they need. Thank you so much for your prayers. Charlie Cook will live on. I'm brokenhearted for his family. I know. His kids. Can't imagine. No husband wants to leave his wife behind. or his kids behind. The same way that no husband wants to lose their wife. And it's very tough because my wife saw the report and she started crying. And she's begging me. She's like, please don't go out and speak and don't do any of those things. Just stay here. I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. But such a sad situation and what happened to him. He did not deserve that at all. For someone that just went out to speak their mind and to teach pretty much younger kids about politics, about the dangers of politics, to what to look out for, stuff like that. Is just horrible way to go for him. So my condolences to him, to his family, his wife, his parents, his friends, his kids. Such a horrible thing. I don't know if I have. There were 2 shots. Another video. Yeah, there's many angles of everything. Someone was there. There was no security there. Yeah, always those places. The security is never good. There's a lot of events that happen here in California, like when they go to Berkeley. When they go to other places in San Francisco to speak, security always shuts them down because it gets really crazy with the protesters, Antifa, and all those things. But in other places where they don't believe that someone which they call right-wing goes to speak, their security is not as tough because there's not that much Antifa or there's not that many protests. So their security is more relaxed. For instance, if you come to California and you're going to do a speech in Orange County, which is predominantly right-wing or what they call right-wing or conservative or whatever, your security is not going to be as strict as if you go to Berkeley, right? Where there's just so much Antifa, so much left-wing extremism and stuff like that. Then at that place, you're obviously going to have a ton of cops, you're going to have a ton of security and stuff like that. So it just depends on where you go. And unfortunately for Charlie, this time he was in a state where I guess it was more lenient, not as extremist, but it turned out to be the most. It's unfortunate. So unfortunate. Thank you for the prayers. Yeah, I know. There's there's this video that I saw online where I guess he was doing an interview with Fox News, or like Fox and Friends, or Fox in the Morning, something like that. And you see his little girl, and she goes, "Daddy," and she sees him, and she runs to him. So unfortunate. So unfortunate that his kids are going to now grow up without him. And he's not going to be able to see his kids grow up. Very unfortunate. His wife, and having someone, let's say having a spouse that is super sick or a spouse that is gone, it's such a hurt. I know that my wife, God willing, is going to be okay. But just the thought of losing her, just the thought of seeing her in a casket breaks my heart. Just the thought of it, which you don't want to think like that. But, sometimes the enemy puts those thoughts into your head to screw with you, So I can't imagine what the wife is feeling right now that he's gone. But may you rest in peace. And I hope nothing but understanding and comfort for his family, all of his family. Lack of security. Yeah, lack of security. Yeah, like I said, it was because there was not that much threat. They thought at the time. The threat wasn't there to the point where they needed extra security, cops. They said that there was, because we did the press conference, we streamed the press conference of the cops, for the event. So they said campus campus police said that there was 4 cops in plain clothes. There was a couple cops, in uniform, but that was pretty much it. And also there was a security detail of Charlie Kirk. So he had his own security detail. And the chief of police said that they were, working along with Charlie Kirk's security detail to make sure that he was safe. But someone just screwed up, you know. They didn't do enough to keep him safe. And I hope that all of these other speakers, like Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens and all these other people, that their security gets a lot more tight, because we don't want this to keep happening to others. We don't want to lose any other people that helped the cause. And President Trump was the one that announced the passing of Charlie Kirk. So it wasn't his family, it wasn't a tabloid, or it wasn't, like TMZ or anything like that, the one that announced it. It was President Trump himself. He was the first one to find out that he had passed away. But just looking at the footage, how it happened, and especially the close-up ones, you can totally tell that there was no way that he was going to survive something like that. But yeah, when it comes to my wife, updates on my wife, as of right now, her pain is being managed. She's doing well. They're doing dialysis. They're gonna check her. Right now, they're doing an MRI just to make sure that she doesn't have any infection it's called peritonitis. So we have something called the peritoneal in the abdomen. And for people that have PD or PD dialysis that go through a catheter, they're prone to getting infection in the abdomen because, it gets full of liquid, and then the machine takes out that liquid along with all the other stuff. So they what's it called? They want to see if she has any type of infection, whether it be fungal infection or bacterial infection in the PD causing pain. So they want to rule that out. So right now they're doing a bunch of testing just to make sure she doesn't have something called peritonitis. And maybe that's the reason why she's having so much pain in the abdomen. So they're trying to rule that out. They're still working on the liver, to make sure that her liver doesn't get even more messed up than it already is, because it's been inflamed for a while. But yeah, that's where she's at right now. Prayers for you and your wife. Prayers go out to Charlie Kirk's family too. God bless, rest his soul. Charlie was a perfect example of what a man in Christ looks like and what he can do. Yeah, that's true. Police said that they had only 6 officers working in Charlie. Yeah. Yep. Like I said, 4 of them were in civilian clothes. 2 of them were in 2 to 4, he said, were in uniform. So yeah, so they only had a few cops working detail. Again, because they didn't see it as a threat at the time. That they didn't have Antifa roaming around. They didn't have a bunch of rowdy left-wing lunatics trying to shut it down. Unlike if you're in Berkeley or any other left-wing, Portland, Seattle, stuff like that. So it's very different when, let's say, if he would have gone to Portland, if he would have gone to Seattle, he would have gone to Berkeley, UC San Diego, stuff like that. The security detail would have been way more strict. But I guess he was in a place where it wasn't as dangerous, according to them. Thank you so much, RJ. Thank you so much. This poor thing, I pray for the doctors too, that they will have success in helping her. Yes, at this hospital, definitely. We're very, very happy at this hospital because all the doctors, all the specialists that are coming to see her on a daily basis, they want to get to the bottom of it. They don't just want to numb the pain and hope that she gets better. They want to get to the bottom of what is causing this pain. What is it that why is it that the liver is acting the way it's acting? Why is it that her numbers of bilirubin and all of these other toxins, why are they still high? Why are they not coming down? So they want to answer these questions, not just continue asking questions, which we're happy about. And and when I first started this, we've been for a we've been on a wild ride since I started doing these live streams. With regarding my wife. Initially, it was we started this because we need help. We need a lot of help. We need prayer, but we also need a lot of help because we have a lot of co-pays. We have a lot of out-of-pocket expenses that are piling up. Again, this is the fifth time that she has been admitted to a hospital, and the insurance company is not helping, and we're getting a ton of bills, $10,000 here, $12,000 there, imaging, couple $1,000, and I was able to pay for it up until the fourth time that she got admitted for 17 days, and now it's out of control. And I'm having a very hard time keeping up, and I reached out for help, and a lot of you guys helped us. A lot of you guys are helping us. A lot of you guys are doing so much for us, and making sure that I focus on my wife and I focus on her care and I focus on giving all the doctors the information that they need to help her feel better and get better. So thank you. Thank you for all your help, folks. Thank you for all of your support through PayPal and through Zelle and through GoFundMe and all those things. Thank you so much for that, for all of that help that you guys have given us. If you guys don't know anything about that, there's links in the description below. If you guys want to check that out. Also for prayers, there's also information in the description below, for prayers for my wife. Prayers help out so much. And we're so happy too because next month in October, she is going for her kidney transplant evaluation. So we're preparing her for that too. We're very happy about that. But that's going to come with even more, expenses and problems and stuff like that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, we want to thank every single one of you guys that have been helping us. If you'd like to help us, if you'd like to help me, I'm greatly appreciated. That way I can focus on my wife. Information is in the description below. I haven't been able to focus that good on YouTube because of everything that is going on. Thank you so much to Longbeard. And thank you to everyone else that has been giving sending prayers and stuff like that. Thank you so much for your help and your support. And soon I'm going to put the, like what I did at the other hospital, I'm going to put the stickies here and there for like the prayers will be here. And then everyone that's helping us through Zelle and through PayPal, I put your names over here. I'm going to start doing that too. I just want to make sure that I'm allowed to be here because in the other hospital, it was a shared room and they didn't allow me to be here with her or spend the night here with her. But last night I spent the night here, which is good. I don't have a bed, but I just have this chair and I've been like sleeping on this chair or like this, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm here for my wife. I want her to be comfortable. I can rest when she gets out of here and she's better. I can go rest at that point, sleep on a bed. But for now, this chair is perfectly fine for me. I don't care. I'll rather sleep on this bed for weeks than to not have her. I want to make sure that she's good. She's comfortable. I can manage. I'm okay. It is what it is with me. A chair is more than enough for me to sleep. But like I said, I can't go home and then come back and stuff like that because it's an hour and a half away from our home. We're an hour and a half away. So it's pretty far for me to do commutes there and back. That's almost 3 hours of driving and then getting back here, And that's without traffic. That's like if I leave at 2 a.m. and then come back at 5 or 6 a.m., because if I leave during the day, there's no way. I'll probably be out there 6 hours. 3 hours there, 3 hours back because of all the traffic. But yeah, so hold on. Let me see if there's any extra info that I haven't seen yet. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I have any other intel, any other info. FBI botches investigation. House floor erupts in chaos after moment of silence. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys seen that. So a Republican lawmaker said we would like to do 1 minute of silence for Charlie Kirk, and the Democrats just started screaming no, profanities, all this stuff. Just sick people. It says FBI botches investigation. So Kash Patel said the subject is in custody and has been released. Oh, the subject in custody has been released after investigation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues and will continue to release information in interest of transparency. It says Director Patel has since published an update on the official FBI handle with the subject in custody has been released after an interrogation with law enforcement, and the FBI investigation continues, meaning Mr. Kirk's killer is still at large. So the killer is still out there. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, but there's really no updates other than the fact that the killer is still at large. The FBI is still looking for him, looking for information. Wow. That's crazy. It says witnesses describe lax security measures at event. Again, I explained why. Yes, absolutely. Who was that guy that they grabbed and they dragged away from the event? Now, one, who was he? Two, why him? It's so weird. It's so weird why they grabbed that white dude with the white hair and dragged him away. And someone on camera said, who is he? Why are you grabbing him? And they go, well, we don't know. It could be him, That's what one of the cops said on camera. But it's so weird that they grabbed that guy and dragged him away. Why him? There was thousands of people there. Why did they grab him? Weird. I don't understand that point. It was such a weird situation of why the cops grabbed this guy. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk assassinated. Man, it's horrible. Horrible, horrible stuff that's happening, folks. And that's exactly what they wanted to do to Trump. Remember in Butler, Pennsylvania? That's exactly what they wanted to do. It was take him out. But this one, prime time. For Trump, it was going to be prime time, right? Even CNN had it in full, that speech. And they were going to do it prime time, but it didn't work. But unfortunately for Charlie Kirk, it did. It did work for him. Evil people did what they were planning to do, and they did it successfully. Horrible, horrible stuff. And let me show you guys real quick. There's this thing that they showed here. So he was there, right? Which this is kind of like a bowl, kind of like the Hollywood Bowl, where the part where he sits is lower, and it's like seats going all the way around, right? And everything is made out of complete like cement, right? And he was there. And then here it says the university stated the shooter fired from the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Loss Center? I hope that's how you pronounce it. But supposedly, the university stated that the shooter fired from here. Now, how do they know that? I guess the trajectory of the bullet. I'm not sure. But they said it was here. Now, there's videos of someone on the roof, right? I don't know if you guys have seen those videos, but there's videos of someone on the roof. And when it's someone that took video from here pointing up this way. So pointing up this side, probably this ledge is the one this corner is the one that the video that they took from here, saying that someone's on the roof. I don't know if it's from here or from here, because depending on how tall this building is, I don't know if you can see this one. right? I don't know if you can see this part right here of the roof that goes on top, I guess the third floor of this building. Because from here, let's say from this, let's say if you're that person right there, you can see if someone is here, but can you see someone that's on the third one? Yeah, it was a young man that said someone was on the roof and he was pointing at it, and someone was running back and forth. Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, I know. Who was that old man? That's totally true. Who was that guy? So weird. So many unanswered questions, you know. But we will stay on it. We will give you guys the breaking news in case we find out even more information, in case we find out who the killer was. But rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, man. He wasn't supposed to go like that. So horrible, horrible, horrible situation. Look, this was a picture that the AP took right before it happened, literally seconds before it happened. He was like this, and that's why I'm telling you, you know, his neck is a lot longer. So, but when he lifted his chin, he left his neck completely exposed, and it came in and hit. Now, I don't know if he's wearing a bulletproof vest. I don't think so, because right there, I think that's a nipple. Some people were saying that he could have been wearing a bulletproof vest, and when the bullet came in, it ricocheted off of his vest and it went upwards. Now, it depends on what the coroner says in his autopsy, if the bullet hit the neck, either bottom, middle, or top, or if it hit the chin, like right around there. But one of the theories is that the bullet came in, ricocheted off of the bulletproof vest, and went up, right? That's one of the theories. Another one, obviously, is that he left his neck exposed and the bullet went straight in through the neck. The what's it called? The entrance wound was pretty large. It was big. You can totally see it. And the thing about it too is, I don't know if a lot of people don't know this. When someone gets shot, right? Let's say I get shot. Boom, I get shot. Blood doesn't go like in a movie. You know, it doesn't spew out like in a movie unless you get hit in an artery, right? We have an artery here, right? If you get stabbed, whatever, it comes out. Charlie Kirk got hit in an artery. Now, for someone to get shot in an artery in the neck while moving, extremely difficult. That had to be a precise marksman shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't just someone that was pissed off and shot someone, you know? That guy knew exactly what he was pointing at, exactly where to hit, and exactly when to hit it, right? Because it took some time, and then boom, he shot it at a precise time. Oh, thank you so much to Hammer of Justice. It says, Patriot, I'm sorry I can't afford more than another 5 days for another 5 days, but thanks for everything you do. Oh, thank you so much. No, thank you for your support through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Great Patriot. It says, you can tell by your shirt that he is not wearing one. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a theory. I don't believe it. But some people were saying that, you know, he might have been wearing a bulletproof vest, which I don't think he did. He wasn't, you know. Again, his guard was down because he wasn't in an area where there was a lot of Antifa, anti-Trump, you know, activists, stuff like that. He wasn't in that type of area. And the people in attendance, there were over like 3,000, 4,000 people in attendance. Thank you so much to Longbeard. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. But yeah, so like, as you can see, there's a nipple there. So he was definitely, I don't believe that he was wearing a bulletproof vest. So the person that got him definitely got him in the neck, in an artery. Because if he would have gotten shot somewhere else other than the artery in the neck, he would have been like that, right? And probably a chunk would have come off or whatever, but he would have not bled the way that he did. Because when he got shot, he got shot, the impact of the bullet, boom, and then it just started spewing the blood, you know? So that means that he got shot in an artery somewhere. Either this one, I don't know much about the anatomy of the neck, other than I know that there's an artery there, but he got shot in a precise point, you know. Do you know how long was he talking before the shots were fired? He was in a Q&A already, so he had been speaking for a while. I'm not exactly sure how long, to be honest with you, but he was already in the Q&A part of his event. Because he usually delivers a speech, he talks about certain topics that he wants to talk about depending on what area he's in. Let's say if there's a primary coming up in that area, or anything, or let's say it's a swing state, or it's a swing county, or whatever. Then he talks, he tries to get the word out there, and then he starts his Q&A. So it could have been an hour, it could have been 45 minutes, half an hour, depending. I'm not really 100% sure, but he was in the Q&A part of his. It says, I heard that there was a balcony with all the left on it. There was a balcony with all the left on it. Opposition, I think is what you're trying to say. It says, I tried finding the whole event, but couldn't yet. No, they scrubbed it. Maybe TPUSA has it on their YouTube channel, but anywhere else that they were probably streaming it, maybe nobody else was doing it because it was like a TPUSA event, so they own the copyright, and if you try to do it or if someone else tries to stream it, they'll copyright strike them. So I'm pretty sure nobody was doing that event other than TPUSA themselves or Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel or something like that. I'm pretty sure that they were the only ones that were doing it. So you won't really find that event streamed live. So for instance, if we wanted to do it, I couldn't do it without their permission, right? So since I wasn't there, I would have to get their permission to stream that event through them. So not many people are able to do that. Not many people are allowed to do that. So that's why I think that that you won't really find it unless it's from TPUSA themselves or someone that just streamed it illegally. But you won't really find much information. I mean, the actual footage. But yeah, so to answer your question, it was probably 45 minutes, an hour, give or take, before he got shot. If you guys have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my ability, best of my knowledge. And it's horrible because he was talking about gun violence. That's literally what he was talking about. He was talking about gun violence. They asked him the question regarding trans shooters. There's been 5 of them, 5 trans active shooters in the last couple of years. And then he was being asked how many active shooters have there been in the last 6 years, I think they said. And he was talking about that, and he was like saying, are you talking about gun violence too? Are you adding gun violence in that question? And as soon as he said that, boom, it happened. Horrible. Horrible situation, man. Hope you're doing well, man. God bless you, and I'll be praying for you and all of us. Yeah, everybody stay safe out there because it's crazy out there right now. Stay safe out there. But thank you so much for everyone that is here. Thank you so much for everyone that is tuned in. Thank you to everyone that is tuning in to my wife's updates regarding her condition and everything that's going on with her. She's in the hospital. She's been in the hospital for the last couple of months, in and out, pretty much. If you just joined us, my wife has end-stage kidney failure, and she also has liver disease. And we're trying to find answers to other questions other conditions that she has. She's staying there. She's strong. She believes in God. She's holding on to Jesus' hand and getting through everything. Right now she's in an MRI, and she gets terrified going into one of those things. But she's strong. She's very strong. She's a very strong. I love my wife more than anything in this world, and I will do anything and everything for my wife. Even give up a kidney, because I'm going to be her donor. I'm going to be her kidney donor, and we start next month. Our evaluations. And I am her kidney donor. So I love my wife strongly, completely, mind, body, and soul. And I'll do anything and everything to help her. I'll do anything and everything to save her. I'll do anything and everything to be there for her. Charlie Kirk was a good man, gone too soon. Yes, it's true. Love is a good thing. God bless you and your wife. Thank you so much. Your daily jam. Thank you so much, Emery. Thank you so much, Aaron. Yeah, like I said, I'm here pretty much 24 hours a day now. Since we're so far away from my house, we're in a different hospital that's far away, so I can't leave and come back. Bless you, brother. Prayers for your wife. God is faithful. Yes, he is. Oh my gosh, yesterday. I don't need to, I believe in God so much, but, I don't need examples or whatever to know that God exists and that God is next to me all the time. So yesterday, last night, I left around 2 a.m. Or this morning, actually, not last night, this morning. No, I left around 1 a.m. I went to go make sure that the house is good. I went to make sure my dogs are okay, that the pet sitter went and fed them and everything, checked the cameras. And I didn't notice that I didn't take my my wallet. And I didn't notice that I didn't have that much gas. And when I left here, it's like 67 miles away, so like an hour and a half away from where I am or where I live. And I got there, I did everything I needed to do, and then I came back, but I noticed that I was out of gas. And I was already like 15, 20 minutes away from my home and an hour away from here. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm out of gas. And I'm like, but where's my wallet? I'm like, holy crap, where's my wallet? Like I was freaking out because I had no gas. It was 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I had no gas, no money. And I started looking through my car and I started freaking out. And then my wife was completely asleep. And for some reason, my not Google Wallet, the wallet thing on my phone doesn't work correctly. I don't know what's up with that. And I found $15, like in dollars, and I found two fives and 7 ones. That was like $17. And my wife said, "Please bring me something to eat because the food that they gave me wasn't that good, and I'm hungry and I wanted some snacks." So I bought her some snacks. With the $17 I bought some snacks, I bought $15 of gas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to give my wife the food that she wants, And I'm like, oh, God, please, I need a miracle, I just need, I don't think I'm gonna have enough gas to get back to my wife, and I'm not gonna be able to get her food, and I don't want her to go to bed hungry. And then in saying that, I kind of like made it so I will have enough food, enough money for her food, enough money for her for gas to get back, and what's it called, enough money for her snack, right? I was able to do it. I was able to get it done. But when I got back here, my wife goes, "Hey, did you see that donation that we got on PayPal? Because we don't normally use PayPal." But it's like, "Did you see that donation that we got on PayPal just like an hour and a half ago?" And I'm like, "Donation on PayPal?" I'm like, "No, I didn't get no notification." It turns out that someone had donated $20 or $25 to us on PayPal. The only card that I had in my card, because I know that in PayPal we had no money whatsoever. It was zero the last time that I checked. So while I was calculating and seeing what I can do with $17, because I had forgotten my wallet here at the hospital, I left without it because I was like asleep. I was sleepy, and a patriot, one of you guys, had donated $25, and I didn't even know about it. Right? And in my head, I was like, oh my God, I need to make sure that these $17 cover everything that I need to do, because I don't want my wife to go to sleep hungry. I want her to get the snack that she wanted, but I need gas to get to the hospital, and I don't have my wallet. And it just goes to show, that God hears you all the time. He knew that I was tired. He knew I was sleepy. He knew that I needed to go make sure that my dogs are okay, that the house is okay. But at the same time, that my wife didn't go to sleep hungry, and that I got back here safely, and I didn't know that that money was there, but it was there, like it's, if I eventually was looking through my phone or whatever, then it would have been there as a backup, I guess. But he answered me 100%. He answered me. And he showed me I'm here. And again, I don't need, it's not like something I'm seeking, um, or asking him if he's there, because I know he is. So if you're ever wondering, if you're ever in a situation where you ask, God, where are you? Just know that he's there with you at all times. I see it all the time. I know he's there. I know he's listening. I know he's with me, keeping me safe. I was able to make it back. I was able to get my wife her snack. I was able to get my wife her food. I was able to go and check on my dogs. I was able to sleep, come back and sleep here. I was able to stay here with my wife. My wife getting the best care possible. He answers all of our questions, or all of our, everything that we ask for, he answers it. Through you guys. Thank you so much to that patriot that sent out donation last night. God totally worked through you. So thank you so much for that. And I'll send you a private message and stuff like that, thanking you for it. And that's why I say that prayer is so extremely helpful and so appreciated, because all of you guys that are praying for my wife feels so much better than she did 3 months ago, so much better than she did a month ago. She's getting almost every single one of her questions answered. And every day God shows us. What do you need for the night? I got you. Oh, thank you so much to Longbeard. No, yeah, I started these because we are inundated with co-pays, hospital bills, and stuff like that. Insurance company is not helping. They're on the other hospitals where my wife was at. They were putting a lot of pressure to just discharge her, and they did. The last time they successfully were able to discharge her unsafely, because the insurance company didn't want to pay, even though I keep getting in the mail co-pays, imaging. Oh, the insurance only covered 80%. Oh, the insurance only covered 60%. You were out of network. So I'm getting bills after bills after bills, and it's piling up and it's piling up. So I had to start doing videos because I'm at a point where I need help. All the help I can possibly get. And you guys have done so much. And you guys are so amazing. I was able to pay down some stuff, so then insurance will leave us alone. And through GoFundMe, you guys helped us a lot, and you guys continue to help us, so then I can turn around and tell the insurance to shut up, to leave us alone, because my wife is going through too much already for you guys to be causing problems to us too. And it's from previous hospital stays. You know, it's one of the reasons why I started this daily like updates of my wife. But then it turned into her getting discharged unsafely, from her being transferred from one hospital to another one, from the abdomen hurting like crazy, and a bunch of other things that started happening, you know. And until now, we're at this point. It says just pay $1 for every bill. They can't cancel you if you're paying. I yeah. I mean, paying $1, yeah, I guess so. But I, we got to the point where we saw what insurance can do, and how evil insurance can be. I'm telling you, they kicked my wife out of the hospital unsafely because the insurance company refused to continue paying. You know, let me see if there's any. I'm a singer-songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee. What's your wife's name? Maybe you can write some. Oh, that'd be so amazing. Sorry, I didn't see that, Emery. My wife's name is Lizette, Lizette. May God bless you, Lizette, from His strength, peace. May He continue to guide you both with love and protection. Thank you so much for your prayer. Thank you so much to all your patriots. Fuck them. They're screwing you. Yeah, they are. They are. There's a video on there. If you go back, and I think it's like a couple streams back that we did live, you can actually hear the doctor say that the insurance does not want to pay anymore. Some people think that it was it was a nurse, but it wasn't. It was a doctor. The doctor came in and said, "I really need to talk to you guys. The insurance no longer wants to pay, and they're about to forcefully, pretty much, discharge you." We have it on stream. We have it on the doctor talking about it. Thank you so much to Sin Marie. I lived in the Bay for 35 years. I'm Central Cali now. It's a joke. I hear you. But yeah, folks, so I won't keep you guys any longer. Thank you so much. We've been here for an hour. My wife has been gone for an hour. She was supposed to go to her MRI, but I don't know what happened. Where is my wife? I didn't know it took that long to do an MRI. Like, I've been speaking here for an hour with you guys, and it's been awesome. But where is she? Where is my wife? You know, I left to go get some food. You know, I got her some food here, her favorite food, and I've been waiting for her for an hour, and I don't know, MRIs took that long. I hope nothing happened. Oh, never mind. Speaking of my wife, here she is. Do I help? But yeah, she's here. So yeah, folks, if again, thank you so much for everything. My wife is here. I'm gonna eat with her, have a little bit of dinner. And anyone and everyone, thank you for your prayers. And if you want to help, again, the information is in the description below. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll see you guys on the next update. And my condolences go to Charlie Kirk and his family. Horrible what happened today. But thank you so much, folks, and I'll see you soon. Again, all the information is in the description below, if you're watching this after it gets uploaded. Thank you so much. Have a good night, folks. Thank you. If you'd like to help us, in the description below. Peace.